Hello, comic book readers, and welcome to a new episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Unless you're watching the show later, in which case it's not a new episode. But
Right.
You know what?
Hey, it's still watchable.
Yeah, it's an evergreen show. It's been around for almost 10 years.
Well, it's evergreen because there's a green guy in it.
Damn right. So Hulk vs. Thor, Banner of War is written by Donnie Kates with art by Martin Kokolo. This is a book that came out like a year or two ago, and it is the culmination, which no one, including Donnie Kates, knew would be the culmination of Donnie Kates' careers on both titles.
Oh.
Because Donnie Kates was writing both Hulk and Thor at the same time. We've covered both of those during our now famous Donuary event, in which we only talk about Donnie Kates books, except for that one time. Let's unpack that a little bit. Donnie Kates is writing Hulk and Thor. He was doing radical things with both of them. You know, Thor, he's king of Asgard. Sif is in the Heimdall seat, so she can see everything and control the Bifrost and stuff. But also he fought the Black Winter and killed Galactus, and his alter ego Donald Blake, who is complicated, returned, and he's like, I'm Donald Blake and I'm gonna kick your ass, and everyone's like, what? And that was a whole thing. Also, Odin died, and then his soul went into Mjolnir, so now Mjolnir is his father.
Does that mean he beats people up with his dad?
Yeah, and so Mjolnir will be like, son, quick, throw me!
You have to whip me fast around so I can fly in the air!
Son, toss me! And it's like, okay, you know what? That won't last. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, whatever.
That's so dumb.
Right,
That's the paperclip clippy version of Mjolnir.
Yeah. It looks like you're having trouble fighting Dr. Doom. Would you like some help?
Wait, does it actually...
No, Dad!
Swing me!
Does it actually talk to him?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, I thought it was just the spirit of Odin.
I mean, the spirit of Odin is in there, but also he talks to him.
But in a way where you could be like, yeah, sure it is. But no, it's actually in there.
Literally, the spirit of Odin is inside of Mjolnir, and it
Okay.
crackles with the energy of the Odin Force or whatever. It's because it broke, and then they put it back together.
Okay, Gavin, I'm gonna draw a little grumpy face on the hammer, and that's you.
Yeah. There's precedent for that.
Well, you don't care about Thor, so...
No, I really don't.
It wouldn't bother you.
I
It's
appreciate
whatever.
Thor, and when Thor is awesome, it's like firing on all cylinders, and I'm like, yeah! And then when the second it is, and I'm like, ride's over.
Yep, well, that's enough of Thor. I'm done.
Well, you're not gonna buy them all.
I never had anything invested in this,
Right.
it's fine.
Meanwhile, when Spider-Man, stubs his toe, I'm like, outrage!
He has a sense! It would warn him of that!
Do these people know anything? But so he's doing that with Thor. So he's he's going in bold new directions. And meanwhile, Hulk is an effing cyborg or whatever.
Nah, he's a spaceship.
He's a spaceship.
Metaphorical spaceship.
Yeah, he's got nanobots and crap that make actual physical machines that are protruding from his flesh. And Bruce Banner is playing Captain Picard in his head.
Yeah.
And that's going on.
Yeah,
And
he's being controlled by Bruce Banner. But not in the way he was always controlled by Bruce Banner,
Yes.
so that he was Bruce Banner.
No, he switched it up a little bit,
Yeah.
where he completely reworked the mind so that it's a physical place, like an effing dream catcher.
I have to push Hulk to 6 today.
Yes, when you say it out loud, it sounds very silly. When you read it, it's ridiculously silly. And but again, I don't care about Hulk too much, so I'm
Right.
like, knock yourself out.
Yeah,
he'll
whatever.
He'll be done with that in a minute, and it was a shorter minute than I thought it was going to be because Kates just stopped writing Hulk, and so
Was this because he wanted to stop writing?
no.
Okay.
Oh.
And it wasn't because he was kicked off the book either. And I don't like to get into the real specifics of people who are either alive or still working in the industry, but he had some personal trouble and he just stopped writing both books.
Okay.
And so Marvel had to figure it out because it wasn't like they were gonna go, you'll never work in this town again. It's more like, oh, please, for the love of God, get your shit together so we can start putting your name on books again because we desperately need you. Even though we really don't, because it's all about the characters. It's barely about the writers anymore.
Right.
But
They'll keep going.
Oh, and they do.
regardless, Yeah.
And look, it dipped because the architect of the stories was no longer driving the ship, so to speak.
yeah.
Yeah, you get handed a thing of here are these characters and what they're doing. You fix it.
Right,
Yeah.
you figure out where he was going with
and
it.
it's really intricate and really different.
Well, thankfully,
and
it
clearly
was
going somewhere.
it was going somewhere,
Yeah.
but it wasn't terribly intricate. Hulk goes to a planet where there's big people and they punch each other. That was literally one arc. We didn't even cover it, but that's it. And it's like, okay, yeah, you know what? Fine. Let's see what Ryan Otley has to say about Hulk. And with Thor, it's like, that one, I was like, I jumped into Thor a little bit, like this week. I was like, oh, let me see what happened with Thor. Oh my God. Well, I don't want you to do that. And it wasn't even like it was bad. It was just kind of like boring, which is the worst it could possibly be. You know, with Thor, it's like, oh, sure, Mjolnir is inhabited by the spirit of his father, and he's like, come on, son, let's, like, fly me, hop on. Like, I never got a chance to, like, let you ride on my shoulders, so now hop on Mjolnir like it's a witch's broom and just fly around Asgard. Like, you know, who cares? You know what? Like, at least there's a direction. And the Donald Blake stuff was neat.
Right.
In its own
So
way.
they did just continue it with other writers.
Yes, they just went like, all right, yeah, they should have just been like, it stopped. And it did. Like, it just stopped for a little while, and they were like, okay, it's clear he's not coming back. Who wants to write these goddamn things?
We have a problem.
We have an issue. It's DEFCON 1, which means nothing at Marvel.
Our issue is we don't have an issue.
That's right. So before all that, Kates was like, well, I'm writing Hulk and Thor, and those two are intricately connected sometimes. You know, well, so
Yeah, they're
Kates,
like the strongest.
They're both heavy hitters.
they're both heavy hitters. They're both strong Avengers. They're both members of the Avengers
Yeah,
sometimes, even though not really Hulk. I mean, Hulk was a founding member of the Avengers and then just wasn't for, I don't know, 30 years.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know why people think that, oh, wait, the movies.
He wasn't a member for the most part. He was just a problem for them sometimes.
Yes. He was a problem when he was a founder.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, he was more like an antagonist for the Avengers.
Literally.
It seems like.
But, so
we have
let's,
to clean up his messes again.
damn it. So Hulk and Thor, he's like, I'm writing both books. Maybe I could like steer them into each other and then smash them together.
Right.
Like toy cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's what comic books is. Superhero comic books specifically. But hey, like, let's do this. And so he did an event which they called Banner of War, which like, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give you points for using the double meaning of banner
Right.
and make it, because a Banner of War is a real thing,
Right.
and Hulk's real name is Banner. You see?
Right.
Yeah. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
They also got war in there,
and
which
war,
we know.
is that sells.
Yeah.
That
Little
is
boys.
market
like-
Marvel
tested.
cannot do anything without something secret or a war.
And listen, this war is a secret, and I wish they could have worked in secret.
Secret
but
Banner War- of
Secret,
War.
Secret Banner of War, or Banner of Secret War, or
Banner's Secret War.
Banner's Secret War. But then you don't get to use Banner twice.
Right.
Banner. Banana.
Banananer. Too many. So Donnie Kates was not immune, despite his superstardom, to the Marvel machine, which is, we don't do events. Like, it could just be Hulk versus Thor, 1 through 5. That would be great, and everyone would be happy. But instead, it's got to commandeer the title for the main characters, and it's got to have one of them alpha issues. I don't know what the market research on that is, but for whatever reason, every event at Marvel starts with an alpha issue and then routinely ends with an omega issue, which is, by the way, useless. Because it's not the end, it's just a denouement. It's like a little extra. It's like a post-credits. And I'm like,
That's not what the Omega is.
no, that's the end. It should be the finale.
Right.
But it isn't. And in
That's
this
like,
one,
that's
there
like
was,
old school.
Yeah.
That's like what they used to do.
I know. And I'm like,
Except for the Alpha Omega thing. It's like they're like, well, the problem was you couldn't tell when it started and ended. So
Yeah.
let's put a name on it.
in the 90s, they did it a little bit. And I remember it being really frustrating and complicated back then. And it still is.
And they
today.
haven't learned anything.
No, except there's no omega issue.
What? So it never ends.
So, no, it ends.
Oh.
Oh, it ends?
but you don't know.
For a number of reasons.
I see.
They do take painstaking efforts to at least make it feel like an event, despite the fact that they're just the next issues of their respective books.
Right.
And because Kate's writing both of them, they're flawless in their execution of being parts like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Because
He's the writer.
He's the writer.
He's not
Yeah.
passing it off to somebody else.
But if you're reading only Hulk, you're going to be very confused and very annoyed.
Yeah.
However, they do one thing that I really appreciate to kind of unite the whole thing, and it's get Gary Frank to do the covers. And Gary Frank did these dope-ass covers. Same artist on Doomsday Clock. I'm just like, yes, these things look dope. And I really appreciate Kokolo's art, and I think it's really awesome. But the Gary Frank art, I'm like, I didn't even know Marvel could get Gary Frank anymore. And I was like, holy crap! Like, is Gary Frank gonna draw more things? Like that actually, they did the wrong thing where they didn't get me excited for the right stuff. I wasn't like, yeah, Hulk and Thor, let's do it. I was more like, oh my God, Gary Frank works for Marvel now. What else is he gonna draw? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
I mean, he did draw some stuff, but they're mostly covers. Probably because it would take him 2 years to draw one friggin' issue. But you know what? It's worth it. It's a damn good issue. But so the way that this all shaped up was after the story we did, Smashtronaut. Hulk's flying through the multiverse or through interdimensions, and he's about to get hit in the face with Mjolnir. So it was actually dovetailing into this. So you can watch these episodes back to back, despite the fact that they're almost a year apart. So this...
It's okay, it's when the books came out.
Exactly. So Hulk is going to fight Thor. And that's the whole pitch of the book. And in fact, Donnie Kates went on Twitter, back when he used to use Twitter, and then didn't, and then did. But
okay, that's everybody though.
but he was like, who would win in a fight, Hulk versus Thor? And of course the internet was like, oh, I have an opinion about that.
Oh yeah.
And of course there were a couple of smart alecky people like myself who were like, whoever's book it is.
Right.
Neither. Yeah.
Right.
Spider-Man.
But what if they're both written by the same writer?
Yes. And it's like,
Oh.
Then it.
Now we better get the trading cards out. What are their stats?
You know, that came up recently. I was talking about this because I was talking about the power scalers, and now I'm like, you know what they need to do? They're gonna bring back the cards because the cards had numerical properties. You could just go, well, who's smarter? Well, look at the cards. His intelligence is a 4. His intelligence is a 6.
Right.
Do the math.
What if they're both 6s?
6 is greater than
we
4.
Still have a fight.
Then it's a debate.
Right.
Then it's a debate.
Right.
You know,
but you don't have to have a debate about everything. Only when the number's the same.
Exactly.
It limits the realm of argument.
Like if it's maxed out here and it's not here, then guess who wins?
Yeah, but if someone's fighting ability is a 3 and their intelligence is a 6.
Yeah, but then it's arguable, like, oh, but they use their intelligence to outthink the maneuvers of their opponent. Like, that's at least a debate, but it gives you some common ground. I don't actually believe this. I'm just kind of spitballing here because I think that
it's
otherwise...
just fun to hear that argument. But this wasn't... They had like 3 stats maxed out.
Exactly.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat maxed out! So obviously, Kates is having fun. You know, he's like, all right, it's a title bout. The book is Hulk versus Thor.
Right.
And it's called Banner of War, which unfortunately Marvel never really figured out how to make a logo out of that. It's just a font, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But it's not sexy or exciting.
It's not a banner.
It ain't a banner. That's right. Which is kind of a
inexplicable.
fail. Yeah. But it opens with the Watcher, and I don't even know if the Watcher's alive, one-eyed, whatever.
What Watcher is this? He's got
This is
both
a
eyes?
Watu. It's the Watcher. I think Kates is because Kates also
He's like,
was
I'm not
able-
doing that.
No. He's like, I don't even know. And I think like in the Reckoning War, I think they fixed Watcher. It doesn't matter. The reality is, no one wants the Watcher to be dead or one-eyed or a gun-toting maniac like he has been portrayed up until this point. And so it's like, let's just get back to normal, please. Of course, it's ironic that the guy who murdered Galactus unceremoniously is going to go, let's get back to normal and put a Watu in here. And Watcher gives us all the context for what's happening in both Hulk and Thor if you're only reading one or the other or neither.
Okay.
And he does all the things that I just said. And so that's the situation. It's just 2-page splashes of both. And so Hulk fights Thor. And the idea is that, like, you know, Hulk escaped judgment for murdering a bunch of people in El Paso. We didn't know that. We find out in this. But he is kind of on the lam, and he pissed off a bunch of Avengers to do it, and Thor essentially was looking for them, or at least sent the crows, because he inherited them from Odin, to look for him interdimensionally and found him. So now I'm going to kick his ass and bring him to justice. That's the plan.
Okay.
And it's very simple and rock solid. Thor's going to punch Hulk hard enough to bring him back to Earth and have him face judgment, even though every time that's happened, it's usually resulted in a Hulk event in which Hulk escapes judgment.
Yeah, didn't you really enjoy that Hulk versus Thor fight in Thor 3, Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to see that in a comic?
I guess. I did just see it on the screen, though.
Nah, you want more.
Okay.
You want it again.
They literally, that's exactly right. That happens in this, where it's like, remember that thing that you saw in the movie? Well, here it is. And I'm like, I just saw that.
I don't want you to be confused if you've never read comics before. I want you to come to the comics and feel familiar.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So Thor is beating the hell out of Hulk, or at least he's trying to, and he's trying to reason with him and reach Banner, and Banner's like, I can hear you, man. Knock it off. And Thor's like, oh, me. That means that Banner's in control of the Hulk, like he has been for any intermittent period in time.
Right.
We've all had a period like that.
Yeah.
We know.
But here's the fun part, and it's fun because you're like, oh, look at that. There's some parallels between the two books. And then you remember, but the same guy's writing those things. Is that a parallel or derivative? Because both of them operate with ghosts of people they loved yelling in their ear and no one else can hear them. As you recall, in the
Oh, no.
in the Hulk story, there's a ghost of Betty, and she's like, "You're fucking it up."
Right.
Yep.
And Thor's got Mjolnir, and Odin's like, "You're fucking it up."
Oh, that's right.
And so they both get punched. They're both kind of like, gathering themselves.
Do the
and then,
ghosts communicate?
oh yes, we get it all. Everything you can imagine about taking these two books that are basically the same book and smashing them together happens. And it's delivering on the premise. And then Mjolnir's like, "Get up!" And then Hulk's like, "Yeah, I got this." And then Betty's like, "Hey, don't get too cocky." And then they're both like yelling at each other. And then they both turn away from each other to go, "Leave me alone!" And then they look at each other and they're like, "Who are you talking to,
Bro!
But they don't bro out. Then they fight because
Right.
the book needs to happen. And so they're like, "Who are you talking to? Huh?" Punch. Because it's funny. It's funnier if it happens that way. It's funnier if they
is.
don't reason with each other.
I guess. Yes.
Here's the beginning of the book. They can't reason with each other. The book would be over.
Exactly. Well, they have to unite to fight a common foe, which of course they can't. So they fight.
Where are they?
Oh, they're on a crazy planet that,
Has different art?
yes. The art is, they're basically in like an Adventure Time reality.
Yeah.
And-
they're in an alternate reality.
Well, no, they're on another planet where the aliens look like Adventure Time.
how could another planet have like different textures?
Right. Well, because
Have
it's
like
a
a
comic
different
book.
fabric of reality.
We'll have
That's
to
what
also
they make the material out of. What if
Exactly.
everything there is pastel?
Yeah, and they're
And
made of
smooth
like this.
and two-dimensional looking.
Yeah, more 2D.
More so, yeah.
But yeah, a lot
Maybe
to
this
explain.
planet is very vain. They're all wearing like very flat makeup.
The planet is, what you see isn't what it is. Like it looks cute and fun and innocent, but actually it's like a war-mongering planet. It's like, all right, whatever. I see your joke. So Thor is like, "You got to send me out of here, Sif. Like I know you're watching because you're the new Heimdall. So please send us someplace where we can smash the shit out of each other and no one will be hurt. A more appropriate place for this to happen." And so Sif does use the sword and send them through the Bifrost to the Black Hand of God, and which is a made-up thing by Donnie Kates, and of course it is because it all is. But it's fun because, like, you know what? I'm not going to argue. That's the nature of Donnie Kates at Marvel, where I'm like, "Oh, you made that up, and that's pretty fun. Yeah, all right, I can give you a pass." Doesn't get in the way of anything.
Do you get a story about
Yeah, of
where it
course.
is or what? Okay.
Of course, yeah, it's a severed hand of a celestial.
Oh.
Not a severed head. That would be
Right.
derivative. This is a hand.
Right. We're gonna get
Is it
severed
well,
legs.
can't be the hand.
Yeah, we got to get the
Galactus.
dick of a celestial, where it's a debaucherous planet. But
They should do that in a Deadpool book.
They should, yeah. They built an arena on this celestial hand, and so fortunes are made, bets are placed. It's just the arena from Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
And so they're there.
It needs to be in an arena, and here's one.
Yes, and it catches up with Uatu, who's there.
I
and
guess
he's
no
like,
one's using it right now.
Wait, yeah. If they just got teleported there,
Yeah.
no one should be watching them because there wasn't an event.
No, there was an event. They just arrived in between bouts. So now they're the next bout.
Oh.
And the announcer is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the God of Thunder himself and the Incredible Hulk." And it's lettered to look like an effing video game.
Do they have like health bars?
Yes.
Okay, that's
It's
cool.
like Hulk versus Thor. Because you're like, yeah. I mean, like, that's what this is.
Did we skip over why this is happening?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Thor needs to bring Hulk to justice because
Oh, yeah, but like.
Hulk killed a bunch of random people in El Paso.
Okay, so we just covered that in like 2 pages.
1.5.
Okay.
Or half a panel. Yeah.
I see. And we still don't know why Hulk killed.
That's correct. We
Okay,
explained it
that's
actually in
gonna
that
come up.
episode, but it's because, like,
I don't remember.
it doesn't matter, but we'll talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
we'll get into it. But all right, we'll talk about it right now. The Banner was in a bar. He was using a laptop like a douchebag at the bar. Like, it's set up to look like Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Where this nerd goes into this this rough and tumble bar, and then he's like, "Hey, you spilled my drink. I'm gonna kick your ass." But but Banner's actually the dick, and because he shows up to a El Paso bar with a laptop, and he puts it up there, and then he accidentally is bumped into by what would be like the flannel wearing,
Right.
biker guy, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me."
Yeah.
So
He apologizes.
He apologizes, and then Banner touches him by accident, and what he discovers is that he somehow imbues his gamma irradiated hulkiness into this dude, and then the dude gets all hulked out, and then
Oh, yeah.
everybody in the room gets hulked out, and Banner is the only one who isn't hulked out, and for whatever reason, Banner is taken over, and he slaughters everyone there. And then
I had to. They were Hulks. Oh my God.
No, it wasn't even that.
Now I know how everyone else feels.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even like he was like, I gotta stop these people because I know what kind of a monster the Hulk is. No, this is actually after Immortal Hulk when they had already reconciled. Like the idea is that we'd gotten to a new place that Al Ewing set up, which is like this is the new status quo for Hulk and Banner, and they figured it out and they've worked it all out. Except then Donnie Kates came on the scene and was like, nope. And that's fine because like what else are you gonna do? You're gonna have 12 more issues of Hulk just eating a ham sandwich, having a good time? No. So now there's a thing, but at least it's not Hulk or Banner's fault, but it's an unseen antagonist that's screwing with them. But Hulk doesn't know why, and he knows that he's not going to be like listened to by anybody, so that's when he creates the Starship Hulk and leaves.
Right.
But it's because of all these people, and he assumes that Hulk like welched on their deal and killed these people because he's like unpredictable.
Right.
So he's like,
and I guess he doesn't remember.
He remembers doing it, but he doesn't
Specifically.
remember why.
Right.
He assumes that when that happens, that's usually when Hulk takes over. So if this is the case, Hulk took over and then slaughtered these people and screwed me over. So I'm gonna screw him over by getting nanites and shoving them in my body and just commandeering Hulk
Right.
and using him as a starship. And that's why
So it doesn't get to have control.
yeah, and I can morally justify putting him in the engine room and throwing the worst shit at him.
Right, 'cause
Because
he
like
killed those
he killed
people.
those people and he's an asshole. And like we made a deal. I don't understand why you welched on it. It's like he didn't, you didn't understand, but you're an asshole too. So you deserve each other.
Right. So the idea behind that was like he actually just killed those people. Because he wanted to.
Something took over and puppeted his body.
But we didn't know what that was.
We didn't know what that was then, and we don't know about it here.
Okay.
either.
All right. So there is still a mystery. That's what I.
Well, there was a
thought,
mystery.
but-
They figured it all
yeah,
out, but I don't want to get
now,
into
But
it.
it hasn't been figured out.
It hasn't been figured
at
out
this
here.
point,
Yeah. The context here is that he's still.
So Hulk's still like, I didn't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. That's right. And Banner's like, I don't believe you.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know why. Well, oh yeah, that's right, because you want this to happen. So they fight, and then Thor gets the upper hand and just drops Mjolnir on Hulk's back, pinning him because he's like can't lift it.
Right.
And he goes,
But he doesn't bane him.
no, he does not bane him. Well, no, it's just he wants him to freeze and listen to him.
Right.
Because Thor then like moralizes at him. You killed 17 people, and I'm gonna have to take your ass back to Earth.
Well, I don't have. You left me no choice.
Exactly.
This is your fault.
Right.
That I'm punching you.
And
right now.
even though like we've fought countless times, and even though you've been a villain and a hero, this is the last straw, and now it's.
This is the.
And I'm
last
sorry, but it's gonna have to be this way. And Banner's like, it wasn't me, it was my fault. It's not. You don't know the whole story. And he's like, shut up. Yeah. And then Banner's like, you know what? I'm gonna have to plug in because normally I'm piloting him, but I'm gonna have to like take control of the Hulk's body. And I'm like, you weren't doing that already?
What?
So he puts on his haptic feedback suit, like in Ready Player One, and then proceeds to puppet the Hulk, like literally with his body, like it's
he's
a
not
like it's a
just-
Jaeger from Pacific Rim.
So before he was just issuing commands like punch, punch,
Which
punch.
I'm like, that's way less efficient.
I have 6
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah.
I have low, medium, high, kicks, and punches.
That's right. That's right. And a
This is
block.
Yeah, but the block is just holding back on the joystick.
There you go. Well, no, in Mortal Kombat, you also have to hold the block button.
If you had the 6-button controller, yeah.
That's true. And well, I mean, and it's on the Mindscape. He can make like 12 buttons. It doesn't matter.
You can make whatever buttons you can think of.
That's right. Exactly. Maybe he didn't have a button, but then like he's like,
Oh,
you know what?
I need a button for that.
I need a button for that. Bloop, button. It's all fake. And also, he's got to perform those fatalities. The point of the scene is for Hulk to be talked at by Thor long enough for Banner to take control of the Hulk's body, and also we need to establish that Banner's like, I need to feel what Hulk's feeling. I gotta know. I gotta get in this. That way,
Sounds
there's
like a bad
stakes.
idea.
That way, there's
Right.
stakes. If I go through some heavy shit, you know that Banner felt it. Oh, and so he's got Mjolnir on his back, but we've seen that he can take some punishment. So Hulk just lifts his body around Mjolnir and just
What?
drives a hole through his body.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And Thor is like, what? Like brick.
You shouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
I know, and it's like, okay, that's what this book is. I mean, we just saw a video game cutscene, so we know.
Yeah.
But he goes, Thor, pick up your hammer. And I'm like, I don't know how you're talking. You have lungs. But
No, it comes from the
I
diaphragm,
love
man.
that there's like, you can see a chunk of like green meat
Flesh.
under it. Yeah.
we know it's important, whatever
Yeah.
that was. But he's gonna grow it back, and he's got nanites and crap.
Yeah.
So Thor is like, well, that was the most badass thing I've ever seen. I gotta one up him so that he calls Mjolnir through the hole. And then he goes, where were we? And then they fight some more.
Right.
And the whole book is 5 issues of fighting.
Really?
Well, you have a
In this
hole
arena?
No.
Oh, okay.
If you have a hole through the Hulk, maybe blast some lightning in there.
Yeah, and he does. He brings down the thunder. Mjolnir is like, get up, boy. What are you doing? Come on, pick me up and smash me against your friend. Mjolnir just acts on its own because it's his father. So it's like, I made Mjolnir. I enchanted it.
I'm definitely worthy.
Exactly, because I determine what worthiness is. So I'm gonna. So he just commandeers Mjolnir.
Right. It's like, you know what? I don't want to be dead. I don't want to just be doing what you command me to do.
It's not like a ghost appears and picks up Mjolnir.
But
no, the hammer
is able
leaves.
to control a thing.
Exactly,
Which
that's
is kind of like being alive
hops around
again.
for a little while.
Yeah. So the hammer just
Taps
leaves.
Hulk on the
It
back.
leaves.
He gets distracted. He punches him in the face.
It leaves. It conjures lightning, and then it comes down
I
and
see.
smashes Hulk, and then they proceed to fight some more. And that's like what this whole book.
Now it's like Hulk's fighting two people.
Yeah, it is, because like the hammer is moving like it's possessed by somebody else. But
The
it's also
Banner's like, Betty, you got to get out there. You got to help me.
right.
It's
It doesn't happen. It's not like that. I would also appreciate it if like Odin jumps out of Mjolnir until like the ghost of Mjolnir is smashing at him. So like Thor's punching him with his like enchanted god hands, and Odin is like wielding Thor, and Odin's wielding Mjolnir, but like only we see the ghost.
Right.
So it looks like Thor just has another
They
power.
see the hammer just moving around as if someone's like puppeteering it, but they don't see who. That would be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
no, he didn't think that.
no. But that's because we don't have enough pages for that to happen.
Right.
Because the hammer, that is to say Odin, is like, I have scanned your friend using my god powers. And I noticed that he is acting like a man possessed, which of course I know something about because I possess this inanimate object. And so I'm going to use my Odin powers to jump into the Hulk's mind, and so Odin appears on the bridge of Starship Hulk.
Okay.
And he says, Bruce Banner, I would have words with thee, which is a fun little callback to a moment in an Avengers book that Thor says.
Does Mjolnir fall apart into pieces again?
No, it doesn't do that. It's already it was already sealed. It didn't need Odin's spirit to do it.
Okay.
It was glued separately.
Yeah, it's not like, as long as my father inhabits the hammer will remain one. No, it's already done like that. Which I hate, by the way. It's time to stop with the synergy and the crackles and stuff. Like, Odin, like, Mjolnir is iconic and awesome. It's fixed. Moving on. Doesn't need to be cracked and glowing.
Right. You just
No, you gotta see it.
Just
It
fix
will
it. And
always
like,
be broken now.
I gave it to the smiths to
Yeah.
fix it up so you can't see the cracks anymore.
Exactly. Cap's shield has been slashed by vibranium claws and adamantium claws, and it's still spit shined.
Yeah.
Let's just move on with the Mjolnir stuff. But meanwhile, on Earth, the Avengers have gotten together, and I like that Donnie Kates is just like, here's everybody that I would like to write for at some point or another, or I have in the past. The Avengers are boring and stupid, and they live in a stupid dead celestial, and I'm not interested in that at all. And Iron Man reveals that he has discovered where Hulk is. And Reed Richards
I
is
got
like,
a tracker on the Watcher, so wherever he shows
that
up.
would be amazing. That's a smart move. I would like that. I'd be like, I want to know what he's watching, because if he's watching something, I know it's important.
We got to be there.
That'd be amazing. I would like to see that because
Reed would do that.
I would like to see that. Well, no, Watcher and Reed are like friends. Watcher like texts Reed what's going on. I would like to see Watcher do that.
She was just like, why are you always making time for the Watcher?
Yeah, you're always texting Watcher while we're trying to have dinner or connect with our children.
I just want to know what he thought about this last episode.
So Iron Man is like, I have these deep space or interdimensional scanners that tell me what's going on out there, and I picked up a sound in the middle of the cold vacuum of space, which of course can't commit sound, and I heard, and he says that, but he says, we heard two words, Hulk smash, and I gotta go out there. And Reed is like, okay, so like that's kind of impressive that you were able to invent technology that's able to do that, because like I haven't done that. So like, I guess I gotta give it up to you, Tony. And he goes, I'm just screwing with you. I couldn't do that. Thor's crows called me up. They're right here, and they told me everything.
I was going to say, it's not a matter of like how hard you try or how smart you are.
Yeah,
There's
no.
no air to move the sound
It's
wave.
impossible.
Like there's no physical way for it to occur.
Exactly. No, Thor engaged Hulk and then sent the Ravens to talk to me.
Yeah.
So-
he reported back like he should.
Yeah.
Like you would expect him to.
Yes. And so they're like, well, that's great that like Thor let us know. Thor will probably handle it.
Right.
He's certainly stronger than you, so it's not like you going there is going to make any difference.
Yeah, but
And
it's
the
the
Raven-
Hulk.
Well, and Iron Man just goes, yeah, no, I'm going to go fight him. And they're like, please
I'm
don't.
gonna bring my Hulk.
No, I
poster.
really like fighting the Hulk.
I wanna. Well, because also Hulk pantsed me in his book. So now I want to
Right.
punch him.
But remember that time we fucked with the Hulk and like then World War Hulk happened?
Yeah, remember that?
Maybe just leave it to Thor. He could fuck up freaking Asgard.
Exactly.
You know, if you mess with him, then it's gonna be like Earth.
Yeah. He's going to come back, and he's
Yeah.
going to be pissed.
He's gonna come back anyway.
Well, that's true.
Oh, yeah. Civil War 3.
Exactly. And Iron Man is like, yeah, I already left. This is just a suit. I'm leaving. And so, what are you talking about? I left 35 minutes ago. He doesn't do it.
Yes.
Bonus points to Kates. You didn't rip off Watchmen for no reason. But yeah,
It's not for no reason.
But that's true. But I do appreciate the Cap like gets in Iron Man's face. Are you even still here? Are you even in there? And he's like, no.
Nah, you got me.
So he just fires off into space in like crazy new armor that he commandeered from the King in Black event, which Donnie Kates wrote, which is earned because there was a celestial body thing that he used. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Odin's like smacking Banner around because they're both basically ghosts. I mean, he's not even physically there.
Right.
Does that mean while Odin is fighting Banner, Hulk is incapacitated?
Yeah, Hulk's like, Thor's like, no, my dad's in there smacking you around, bitch. Banner regards Odin as like a virus.
Uh-huh.
You know, so like safeguards go in place.
Right,
to-
his immune system or whatever
right.
kicks in. Yeah.
It's a security system because he's not a body; he's a ship. You know, it's got to
Right.
go with the metaphor.
Right.
But he says, you know, you may be you may be a god out there, but here inside of the Hulk's mind, I am God.
And then a train comes by and hits him.
Yeah.
Inception. Let's do that.
Odin is now trapped by Banner. Banner then like attacks Thor, you know, grabs him. Rocket bullet things shoot out of Hulk's shoulders because he's got nanites that can make anything, including things with chemicals, moving parts, which it doesn't work that way, but I don't know why. So
He should be able to only create stabbing weapons.
yeah, that's right.
Maybe it can absorb matter from around it and convert it into missiles
I mean,
and stuff.
it makes thrusters and stuff. So like, no,
Right.
it's already established. It can make guns and things with boosters and fire. It's fine.
Is that why he's able to get up with a hole inside of him?
Yeah.
Is nanites?
Yeah, nanites.
Yeah,
Well,
nanites.
nanites and the Hulk. Hulk has like an
yeah.
accelerated healing factor, so like he'll be able to. He's gone through worse in Immortal Hulk. Like, thankfully, Al Ewing already did the heavy lifting about healing Hulk, but also got those nanites.
Right.
That's why I can like burn all my flesh off, but I'll still have like rocket boosters in my butt because the nanites are like, replicated. And I can fart really hard and it like generates into energy, and then I fly like the Batmobile.
Whatever you want.
Right, whatever you want.
It's nanites. They do anything.
Yeah. So Odin frees himself and he forces Banner to revisit why we're in this situation in the first place and takes him back to his memories of the bar, and we see what happened, and you know it's pandemonium, and Odin is like, what do what is this? What are you doing here? What's up with all
What
this?
is
crap?
all this?
Exactly. And then Odin is starting to get through to Banner because Banner and he just had a breakthrough.
Okay.
They went through a harrowing ordeal together.
Right. After punching each other a few times, and
Well, then they went back into his memories and they
Yeah.
got to see, and Odin's like, oh, like you're kind of a monster like me. Like I've killed innocent people too. And Banner's like, I didn't do that. He's like, no, me either. I was a different person.
Of course not.
Listen, the Odin of old, two-eyed Odin, was a bastard. But yeah. But anyway, so then
it's like some Old Testament shit. They messed with you. You know, they had it coming. I get
They
it.
had to come. I get it. Yeah. Wrath of Gods, right. So Thor immediately like just takes that as an opportunity and he like smashes, Hulk and stuff. And
I'm going to tenderize him a little.
right, exactly. While Banner and Odin are talking, it means that the Hulk is out. That the Hulk has been freed in Banner's mind.
Oh.
So the Hulk is piloting the Hulk.
What?
But the issue here is that like the Hulk doesn't know that it's free. It thinks it's in the engine room. So it's like I'm gonna kill and eat everything. I'm just gonna bite people. Like I'm gonna do shit I would never do
Right.
normally.
Oh.
Because
Right,
it
'cause it's
thinks
all fake
It's all
anyway,
fake, and
right.
I've been going through it a lot.
Which level is he on now?
We're on 3.
Okay. Which one was 3?
Oh right,
Something.
it's over there.
Oh, God. Hey!
Giant size Wolverine!
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now that we've got we can cross-reference this. So Giant Size Wolverine is stage 3, but Giant Iron Man shows up. So naturally he thinks like, oh, well, we must just switch skins on that sprite. And now I've got to fight Giant Iron Man.
Right. Well, this is what happens when you mess with the Hulk's reality. He can't tell the difference.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's a big dumb monster.
So now there's tension because he might bite Iron Man's head off.
That's right. Yeah, he might not hold back like he always does.
and not just become like a gore fiend.
Yeah. So Iron Man fights him, and it's devastating the fist that they're on, and
It's devastating the fist of a Celestial.
yeah. I mean, it's just exploding and stuff. It's pretty bad stuff.
Are the observers?
Oh, they left.
Oh,
Sif bifrosted them out of there.
Oh, but they're not gonna be able to watch the fight and bet on it.
I know, but we can.
They
That's what's
paid
so
good
great.
money for those tickets, though.
That's us. We pay good money to see those. So now that all the riffraff is gone, we get to enjoy the fight.
I'm glad you bought us tickets.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to spring for my pals. So they fight and they end up on like a moon, and Thor is like, "Hey, knock it off! Like you're gonna die. Don't come here. I didn't ask you to come here.
Right.
I was just letting you know what's up. I was giving
Yeah.
you news.
Right. You're just a thing I'm gonna have to save.
Exactly.
Crows, what did I say? I said just tell them where I am.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
get them.
Right? So, So then Hulk shows up and he's like, and he's freaking out. And he's yelling because he's like pissed at Banner for having tortured him for the last 5 or 6 issues.
Wait a
And-
minute. Iron Man's in a giant mech suit?
Yeah.
Just like Hulk?
Just
Yes,
like Banner
just like
was.
Banner was.
But not is anymore.
Yep.
Right? It's like, but you just had that idea. Why are you doing it again? Hulk is freaking out. And they've dropped the Mjolnir on Hulk to stop him again.
Oh.
We're not going to do that derivative move twice.
Right.
Instead, he's going to blast Gamma out of his eyes because, it's a new power.
Oh.
And he's freaking out. We use the power of the Hulk expelled in the engine room. We don't do it outside.
Right.
Because there's energy being released.
Yeah, that's a problem. And so when he does expel this energy, it essentially creates like a new gamma bomb. And it blows up all this crap in the surrounding area and, lays waste to the Iron Man mech and blows Thor across the room. Thankfully, Iron Man thought of the fact that he's fighting Hulk, so he's like an anti-gamma undersuit that he has on.
So he's not killed by radiation.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's Lead Man.
So he goes to join with Thor, but Thor has been irradiated by the gamma bomb of the Hulk, so now Thor's a Hulk.
Oh no. Or
What?
they.
I mean, it's whatever you want. I mean, you're just like, oh, okay, it's a video game, right? So it's like,
Right.
okay, so now it's Hulk versus Thor, but Thor's a Hulk, so what does that mean?
Right.
Oh.
It's Hulk versus Hulk Thor. Well, now Thor should win because he's got the powers of both Hulk and Thor.
That's true. That's
Yes.
true.
That's more
Hulk
than
and
Hulk.
Thor trumps just Hulk.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So what would Hulk have to do?
Although this is Hulk with nanites. And,
Yeah.
but can he use the nanites? Because Banner's
he
not wearing them
can.
anymore.
He doesn't think to use them. He's
Right,
just
he
being
doesn't- yeah.
he's just being Hulk.
It's a shame that Tony was wearing that suit because we could have seen a
Iron Hulk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then he would have just been Iron Man as a Hulk, but with no Iron Man. Like Tony
He would
Stark
just been
as Hulk would
another
just be
Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
That's more boring.
Unless
We
he was
need-
like, I planned for this. I made a Tony Stark Hulk suit as well.
I mean, that's just Hulkbuster.
Yeah, but instead of Hulk Buster, it's
But imagine
Hulk.
if Hulk was in the Hulk
Hates
Buster.
Hulk.
But now it's Thor who's got the powers of Thor with the power of Hulk. So,
So
it's like,
does he call
uh-oh.
down Green Lightning?
We don't see him wield lightning because he doesn't.
Right.
Mostly because he's like a mindless beast.
So, wait, where's Banner?
Banner is still on the bridge.
But he's not moving the controls.
He's not moving the controls. It's still Hulk.
Right, he's hands off now.
Hey, what are the stats for Thor Hulk?
Right. Let me get that trading card over here. So Thor Hulk smashes our Hulk, and Banner is left kind of like outside of the Hulk, but only in the mindscape or whatever. We're only seeing like the ghosts. We're
Right.
seeing Banner and Odin.
So now he's not at the controls.
He's not at the controls, just Hulk
Right.
fighting Thor Hulk. So Odin helps up Banner, and he's like, look at what you've wrought. Look at what you did. Now what are we going to
What
do?
your stupid idea led to.
Exactly. So Banner's like, look, there's only one way we could do this, but I'm going to need a favor from you.
A favor from Odin.
Exactly. And Odin is like, absolutely not. Iron Man gets Bifrosted out of there because, he'll
Oh, yeah.
die.
Right.
Sif just like, that's bad news.
Exactly. Get out of
You're
here.
welcome.
Right. So she brings
I
him.
saved your stupid, miserable life, you dumbass.
She's
mortal
also
human being.
probably upset because she's like, now Thor is a Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He can't be our king.
Yeah. It would be a problem. So
Now he looks all gross, just like Beta Ray Bill.
yeah.
No
And
monsters.
She loves
And
Bill.
Hulk.
She thinks Bill's a noble warrior, but
Right,
also
but,
she won't bang him unless he's
no.
unless he's wielding the sword. So Sif like, I'm bringing my king home. He's got to get out of here. And Iron Man's like, I would not.
Yeah, now's not a good time.
Exactly. So she's like, no, we're just gonna figure it out from here. So she calls the Bifrost, And Thor Hulk is like, no, I don't want to go. And so he smashes the Bifrost.
Oh.
So the Bifrost is destroyed. Again.
Again.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and
Well, now
has
he's stuck
lasting
there.
repercussions. Well, he's stuck there, and she can't necessarily like call on the Bifrost because he broke
Right.
it.
How do you fix a Bifrost? What is it? Hope or something?
Yeah,
With a rainbow.
Seeing the destruction of the Bifrost forces Odin to agree to Banner's terms, and now Banner is worthy of Mjolnir. So Banner resumes control of the Hulk, and then Thor Hulk calls upon Mjolnir and is shocked to find that Mjolnir does not respond, and instead it goes to Hulk. So now Thor Hulk has to fight Hulk Thor.
We can stop this now.
Right?
So Thor became unworthy by becoming Hulk?
No, because Odin can change the enchantment whenever he wants to.
Oh,
So no,
I see.
he's still worthy, but
Right.
so is Banner now, even
Yeah.
though he never would be.
Just like Bill was
Right.
worthy.
Yeah, but Bill was really worthy. Banner is only worthy because he cheated by making the guy who built it add
Declare
him
him to be
like the
to
white
worthy
list.
Yeah.
list.
Come on, make me worthy.
Just copy and paste my name into the list of people who can use the hammer.
Exactly. So their battle smashes the moon and like seemingly destroys it, but it doesn't. It's not destroyed. They're still like on this crackling like crater in lava and magma.
It just
of a
shatters the surface a little bit.
Exactly. No, I mean look at it. It fucking like that's obliterated. They blow the planet in half.
Only the equatorial regions. The rest
that's-
of it's just cracked a
That's
little
true. Yeah, and that's where they are. So they fight some more,
bit. Right.
and
Now Hulk has the upper hand because he's got a weapon.
that's right. Yeah. Meanwhile,
So Odin's plan was for them to just keep fighting more? It's just like, oh, no,
like,
Hulk's
I-
outmatched. Let me give him a weapon.
well, I
so
don't have a
it's more fair.
solution to this, and I need someone to beat some sense into my son and get the Hulk out of him. So I guess the Hulk can do that.
Maybe if the Hulk hits him with Mjolnir enough times, it'll beat the Hulk out of him.
I don't think that's how Hulks work.
That is what happens.
What?
But it's not quite what happens.
Okay.
Remember who you are.
It's more or less that.
Shouldn't he become like more powerful the more you punch him?
Oh yeah,
now
because
a
he's more
Hulk?
mad. Yeah, I mean, yes, but that's not what happens. Thor rips Hulk's arm off. The arm that's wielding Mjolnir now.
Just like he lost his own arm.
That's true. Yeah, there's parallels
poetry,
here.
right?
But he
Okay.
rips the arm off, and so he's wielding the arm wielding Mjolnir on Thor.
Shouldn't
That
that
feels like cheating.
unmake Hulk Thor to just
No,
Hulk?
no, that's not how that works anymore. You don't need to hold Mjolnir to be Thor.
I'm starting to lose the thread here.
So Hulk Thor transports everybody to Asgard using Mjolnir.
Okay.
And so Beta Ray Bill, who's of course like the war chief, and everyone around him is like ready to go. Like they're like, all right, we'll protect Asgard from these like two hulking monsters. They encounter the World Tree, which is Yggdrasil, which keeps everything
Safe
safe
and alive.
Well, makes everything.
Right.
And the plan is we're going to trap Thor Hulk, that is to say Thor who became Hulk,
Yes.
into Yggdrasil, and then that will hopefully like use its world powers
extract
to
the Hulk from
from him.
Right.
Which should also then irradiate the 9 realms or whatever, but whatever, let's forget about that.
But Hulk is world breaking.
That's right. So he rips the world tree out of the ground and breaks the world tree.
Oh, and does that destroy Earth?
It should, but it doesn't. And
Does the tree start to die?
I mean, it's already ripped out of the ground, so it should be dead, but it isn't. It's just kind of like ripped out of the ground. But everybody freaks
Well, it's got
out like
enough
it's
roots with it. If you put it back in quick enough, it'll make
The
sense.
tree is symbolic. Ignore the tree.
But also, it's really there though, and he's picking it up out of the ground.
Yeah, but it doesn't literally destroy the Earth. It's more metaphorical.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway.
Exactly.
Until it's not.
Until it's not in a later book.
No. So Odin and Banner are like on the bridge of the ship because now Banner's like back, and he's like, "All right, so that's a problem, and you know what? The punching stuff didn't really help. Admittedly, fair enough.
Okay, that doesn't work. I
But-
should know that. I'm Bruce Banner.
I should know that.
That's never happened before in the history of Hulk.
and it never will again. But here we go.
But I do like it.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet. He doesn't like get excited about it. It never really comes up. We just see that Hulk has Thor powers. But he's like, all right, you know what? Let's try chilling out and doing what we should have done on the first page and talk to each other. So he allows Odin to take over. So Odin communicates to Thor Hulk through Hulk Thor.
Does he sound like Odin or does he sound like Hulk?
He has Thor font. So I assume he sounds like Odin. But Odin...
Thor, my son, Now's the time! Kick him in the balls!
No! Yeah, Beta Ray Bill is behind him, like crouched down, like kick him in the balls and he'll fall over. Odin essentially is like, hey, like kiddo, sorry.
Sorry, you became a Hulk.
Sorry, I'm such a bad dad and everything. Like,
Also bad.
Well, he says, like, let me be your father and help do what fathers do and ease your burdens. So he puts Mjolnir over his head and then extracts the gamma using Mjolnir. And that saves Thor and pulls it out of him. And Banner traps Hulk back in the engine room, and so everything's back where it was in the beginning of the story.
Could we do that to Hulk?
Yeah, Banner's like, could you unmake me, please?
No,
in
he
the
doesn't
same
want
way?"
that. He likes this. He's
Oh,
like,
that's
no,
right. He wants to be.
he wants to be Captain
Picard.
Picard.
Astronaut.
Yeah,
He's
but
the astronaut.
Couldn't Thor do that though?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Thor should just
Based
do
on
that.
this,
like,
yes.
nope, you're done.
yeah. No, but now they've gone through this mutual experience of beating the living shit out of each other.
Right.
They
Now
have
he
an
has respect for
understanding.
him.
Yeah. And Thor is like,
That's what every man needs. Is just beat the crap out of another man to gain respect for him.
Yeah, it's Fight Club all over again.
right. That's right.
Like
So,
club rules.
Fight Club rules.
Oh shit, we're not supposed to talk about it.
No, that's right. You broke both rules. He like nods his head. Hulk gets his stupid bullshit back on his body.
Oh,
He's like,
the
oh, my
nanite
nanites.
stuff? Yeah.
And then he leaves, and Thor's like report to the Avengers is, I killed Hulk. He died in the big crazy fight. Oh, and
What?
we also fixed the world tree with my magic powers. Like, it's fine.
If by killing it you mean you made yourself into a Hulk and then killed that Hulk, sure.
Right, but no, I'm lying to you, and I'm saying that Hulk died.
No, I can tell lies. I'm just lying.
Yeah, I'm just lying. He's
Yeah.
not Superman.
It's
So-
not. They'll never find out that you lied. Certainly.
certainly.
Yeah, the Hulk isn't popular and will never come back.
Well, and the reality is, like, what are you gonna do? Start a civil war over me? I'll kill you.
Right. Okay, I lied to you.
Oh, sorry. So then Thor is like, sorry, Tony. Yeah, he died. And
Yeah,
Tony's
no,
like,
he's dead.
Tony's like, wow, I can't believe he died. That sucks. And he's like, how am I gonna get back now that Bifrost is gone? And he's like, well, did you read the Ballad of Beta Ray Bill? Because we have these two goats, and they're also in this movie that's coming out. And so here you go.
Yep.
And so Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder pull up a chariot and take Tony back to Earth.
He's like, that's cool. I'll just wait for like a space bus or whatever.
Yeah, no, take the goats.
Take the goats, trust me, I don't want to ride that
It'd be a
bus.
great insult to
It
our culture
reeks.
if you don't take them.
Exactly. So he
More than
leaves.
these goats?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Right? Please.
They're space goats. You can't smell in space. There's no air.
They're dope. I like Tooth Gnasher.
My suit is designed to smell what would be around it and
Spell
then,
sequence initiated.
and then create the scent. It manufactures
Yeah.
the scent. Yeah.
Great. Well, that's good. That's better than what you actually can smell.
It's
Ride
important
with my goats.
because
Tooth Gnasher and Dick Grinder.
Yeah.
What?
I have to be able to smell things, but I also need the suit to be hermetically sealed.
Right.
The only way to have both is
to
for it to
manufacture
manufacture an identical scent to the one that the outside sensors are sensing.
Right.
So it scans it.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
it scans it.
it uses its DNA
Yeah.
to be like,
Yeah.
what would it
Figures out what compositions
smell like,
it's
all
made up
sweaty and
of.
gross.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
actually quickly grows an embryo of,
God, of those goats?
the goats, and then determines what they'll smell like.
Then it terminates them and
Yeah.
only and uses the fumes of their
Yeah.
extraction.
Yeah, to generate scent.
Anyway, so Hulk leaves and he's passed beyond Sif's sight, and
What?
so Hulk. Well,
What does that mean?
She can see everything, but she can't see where Hulk's going. It doesn't
So
matter.
where'd he go?
Where indeed? To the next story that Kates will write and then not.
That's it? That's the end of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a big fight, and then it's done.
That's right.
And then they nodded at each other and walked away.
Yeah, but at least we had some fun. I mean, like, and that's the whole point. He's like, I think Kates had plans
Yeah.
to be on both these books for a while
Yeah.
and be like, no, I'm gonna do this fun kind of like throwaway event, and we'll get to the heavy stuff later.
Afterwards.
Oh,
Right.
never mind. And you know
we
what?
did
Like,
see some cool shit.
yes, it doesn't lie about what it's gonna
No.
do, and it does everything
It
that you
100% is what it claimed
promises.
to be.
It's 100% a versus book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hulk versus
Yep.
Thor. Now the question is, who wins? When Thor became a Hulk, then he was more Hulk than Hulk, so Hulk had to become a Thor in order to
Right.
match him.
So they were evenly matched the whole time.
Yeah.
Except for a brief moment when Thor became
was
Hulk
better.
before Hulk got Mjolnir.
Right. So basically, it's a Fast and the Furious movie.
Yes.
Like essentially, what
They
we're doing
all-
is Vin Diesel is Thor,
Even
and
though
The Rock is Hulk.
the same writer is writing everything and can
and
pick
could
a winner.
just pick a winner. He didn't.
He chose not to.
Yeah.
Probably because he didn't want people to yell at him
I wouldn't.
any more than they already are.
Which of course they do.
Which is
so-
a lot.
Which is all the time for things he did like 10 years ago.
Then he should have just had Hulk win.
I know. It's like
Okay.
if they're already gonna yell at me,
Yeah.
then whoever.
Thor wins.
Thor wins. You're wrong.
because he also rips Hulk's arm off when both of them are
true.
Hulk's and Thor's.
That's true.
And then uses it to beat the Hulk.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he does it all without Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And he also finds the strength to lift up and break the world tree, and breaks the Bifrost. Like if you're counting, you know, if you're counting, you know, apples and apples, Thor, Hulk destroys the Bifrost.
He breaks more stuff than Hulk.
He breaks more unbreakable things than Hulk does.
Yeah.
So I think
You're gonna
Thor
give it to-
wins.
And
on a TKO.
Yeah.
Hulk doesn't beat Thor.
No.
Odin beats Thor.
That's true.
Yeah.
There,
That's
decided.
true.
There, we figured it
Yeah.
out.
You're welcome.
Thor wins. If you want a copy, it's in the comments down below. It's a fun little read, and the Gary Frank covers are dope, and Kokolo's art is fun. You know, it's like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It does what it promises to do, and nothing more or less.
Yeah.
I saw a She-Hulk cover in there.
Yeah.
It's not in the book.
No.
Nah, that's
It's just a variant.
variant.
These are all
variants.
variants.
Could be anything.
That's right. Look, he's a Skrull in this one.
That doesn't happen in the book.
That's
true.
That's not
It's
anything.
that's nothing.
Finally, questions are answered. Hulk versus Thor. We know who wins.
Kind of. Except it's like a weird Hulk and a kind of weird Thor too.
Oh yeah, no. You had to change the nature of the game in order to find an answer to it. But
Yeah.
I think we've arrived at it. I'm glad we got a chance to hash it out here on the show, just as they did in the comic. We'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So long. Keep reading.
In my opinion, the coolest thing in this book
Yeah.
is Iron Man's celestial armor.
It's pretty sweet. Also,
Yeah, but it's also the most random thing. Like
yeah,
it's-
Iron Man interjects himself into
it's
the fight.
Hulk versus Thor,
And
and,
then-
Iron Man's there too.
Me too. And it's like, get out of here, Iron Man. Nobody wanted
Okay.
you. Blah, 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 blah.
You're throwing off the whole thing. This is supposed to be a 1v1,
Yeah.
and we would find out who's stronger if you come in and it's like there's an
Throws it
asterisk
off.
on it.
Exactly. Yeah. If it weren't for Iron Man,
Yeah, it would have been totally
he
different.
didn't do anything of any value. Also, it's great because Iron Man gets to go home and go, hey, yeah, so you were right about that whole don't go fight Hulk thing. That was a bad call. But also, he died.
Yeah.
So, when?
good.